Complementary feeding.
Hello, welcome to Postgraduate Program in Pediatric Nutrition. My name is Dr. Amy Esther and I work with Golden Cross Infirmary, First Stack, Lagos, Nigeria. I'll be discussing the complementary feeding as the Module 1 discussion. It's important to know that adequate nutrition in infancy and early childhood is fundamental to the development of infants' full potential. Now, what is complementary feeding? Complementary feeding is a process of swift transition from exclusive breastfeeding to adding family food to an infant feeding menu, and this is done after the 6 months of life. It is well recognized that the first 2 years of life is the critical window for the promotion of optimal growth, health, and behavioral development of an infant. Studies have shown that the first 2 years of life is the peak age for growth faltering, micronutrient deficiencies, and common childhood illnesses such as diarrhea. And it's very difficult to reverse stunting if it had taken place already. An infant usually double his or her birth weight and become more active at the end of 6 months. That is why exclusive breastfeeding will not be enough to satisfy the increasing demand of nutrients and energy of this child. This is why we talk about adding complementary feeding at the end of 6 months. Infants are developmentally ready to receive complementary food at the end of 6 months. Inappropriate complementary food or failure to add complementary food at the end of 6 months may lead to growth faltering. The composition of the diet used for complementary feeding and the type of milk may influence the short-term, the medium-term, and the long-term health of this infant. The period of complementary feeding is a time children explore different food types and different tastes. This also follows them into adolescence. Children have unique preference for salty and sugary food, while they reject sour and bitter taste. Therefore, complementary feeding is not only the foundation for infant good health, but a phase to establish future healthy eating habits. Now let's talk about the role of protein content in complementary feeding. The quantity and quality of consumed protein during complementary feeding can actually affect the development of these tissues and lead to alteration in their configuration. These effects are known as programming and represent a crucial risk factor for the development of non-communicable diseases such as metabolic syndrome and coronary heart disease. A high protein intake that exceeds the metabolic requirement may lead to increased release of insulin secreting amino acid. This will lead to higher concentration of insulin and insulin growth factor like insulin growth factor 1, and this will lead to increased weight gain during the first 2 years of life. Also, higher energy intake during complementary feeding is associated with higher BMI during childhood. In summary, to meet the infant's evolving nutritional requirements, it is important for us to give to them adequate and safe complementary feeding while continuing breastfeeding for 2 years or beyond.